Thank you for journeying with me through another episode of AquaSea Healing Frequency Podcast. May today's reflections help you feel more connected to the earth beneath you, the seasons you are in, and the sacred rhythm that lives within your soul. As we learn to live in tune with nature's cycles, we remember that healing isn't linear. It's a spiral, a dance, a deepening. If this episode resonated with your heart, please subscribe, share it with a loved one who might need it, and leave a comment. I truly love hearing how these frequencies land for you. You can connect with me on Instagram and YouTube at AquaSea Healing Frequency, or explore more healing tools and resources through my course on Thinkific. Let the earth be your guide, and may your journey unfold in perfect rhythm. Until next time, may you move with grace, grow with intention, and always come home to your center. With love, Meiji. Welcome back to AquaSea Healing Frequency Podcast. I'm Meiji, and I'm honored to continue this journey with you. This time, flowing with the sacred cycles of nature. Living in Rhythm is a 4-part exploration of how to live, heal, and expand in harmony with the Earth's seasons. Just as the tides rise and fall, we too move through rest, growth, release, and renewal. This season, we tune into the wisdom of the wheel, spring's awakening, summer's radiance, autumn's letting go, and winter's quiet return. Through energy, intuition, and rituals, we'll explore how to plant seeds of intention, shine in our fullness, release with grace, restore in stillness. This isn't about forcing change, it's about listening to the rhythms that already live within you. You are nature, you are sacred rhythm. Each episode is an invitation to slow down, reconnect, and realign with your own intuitive cycles, guided by Earth's wisdom. So take a breath, feel your feet on the earth, sense the seasons you're in, and let's walk this spiral path together. Welcome back to Living in Rhythm. This is episode 25, Daily Devotion to Growth, Embodied Routines for Renewal. In our last episode, we explored the inner maiden, joy, curiosity, regulated openness. We softened something, and maybe since then, you have noticed small shifts. A slight pull towards something new, a desire to adjust your pace, an idea that keeps resurfacing quietly. That's often how growth begins. Not loudly, not dramatically, just a subtle change in tone. But here's the part we don't talk about enough. After the initial openness, life resumes its usual speed. Nothing's wrong, nothing collapses. But without rhythm, what felt alive can get absorbed back into routine. Not because you failed, not because it wasn't meaningful, but because growth needs repetition. Spring doesn't force bloom in a single warm day. It warms gradually, again and again, until change becomes stable. Today isn't about intensity. It isn't about reinvention. It's about choosing something small and returning to it. Before we go further, let's settle. Feel where your body meets support. Take a slow inhale through the nose and a long, gentle exhale. Let the breath land. Gently widen your attention. We are in a season of spring, not just one on the calendar, but in rhythm. Notice your energy lately. Does it feel like it's building? Uncertain? Restless? Tender? Ready? There's no right answer. Just notice. If this season were asking something of you, what would it be? More movement? More focus? More softness? More courage? Let that question sit for a moment. How do you want to move through the season? Not in 5 years, not in 3, but in this season. Feel into that. And as we explore daily devotion to growth today, hold that energy gently, because devotion isn't about forcing change. It's about aligning your daily rhythm with how you actually want to move. Take one slow breath. Inside out. Devotion doesn't rush. It listens first. What devotion actually means. Devotion has been distorted. We often hear it and think discipline, rigidity, performance, spiritual superiority, something heavy, but embodied devotion is much simpler than that. It is returning on purpose consistently. Not because you feel like it, not because you're inspired, but because you're decided it matters. Devotion is how you build trust with yourself. And trust is not building through intention, it's built through evidence. When you say, I will show up for this, and then you do, even in small, unremarkable ways, your nervous system begins to relax because now it knows you follow through. This is behavioral safety, not intensity, consistency. For me, this has looked very ordinary. Years ago, I began listening to sound healing as I fell asleep. And for a while, it supported me deeply. My body softened more easily. My mind slowed down. But at some point, I stopped. Not intentionally, just gradually. And a couple months ago, I felt a quiet pull to return to it. Not as a dramatic reset, not as a new routine, just as a remembering. So alongside choosing to go to bed at roughly the same time each night, again, not perfectly, not rigidly, I began playing sound healing as I fell asleep. It became a signal to my body. We are downshifting now. We are recalibrating. We are allowing repair. What I noticed was an instant transformation. It was steadiness. My system began to anticipate rest, to trust the rhythm, to soften sooner. That's devotion. Sometimes it isn't about adding more. It's about returning to what's already working and committing to it with care. Why we resist structure. After awakening curiosity, structure can feel restrictive. You might think, I don't want to be boxed in. I don't want to lose spontaneity. I don't want another thing to manage. That resistance makes sense, especially if structure has meant pressure in the past. But here's the shift. Structure does not suppress joy. It protects it. Without rhythm, growth becomes reactive. You only move when you feel motivated. You only reflect when something goes wrong. You only stretch when discomfort forces you. That's not sustainable. That's survival pacing. Devotion changes that. It says, growth doesn't have to wait for crisis. It can live in the ordinary. And ordinary repetition is what regulates the nervous system. Your heart doesn't beat only when inspired. Your breath doesn't move only when convenient. Your body restores itself through cycles, quietly, predictably. Rhythm is not rigid, it's biological, intelligent. Why would growth operate differently? 3 pillars of daily devotion. Let's simplify this. Daily devotion to growth can be anchored in 3 behavioral pillars. 1. Attention. 2. Movement. 3. Reflection. That's it. Not 20 habits, not a perfect morning routine, just 3 consistent touch points. So number 1, attention. What are you feeding your mind daily? 5 minutes of intentional reading, 1 podcast that stretches your thinking, maybe even this one, a paragraph from a book you are integrating slowly, not consumption for distraction, attention for direction. Where attention goes, identity slowly follows. Small, consistent, focused. Number 2, movement. Growth is embodied. 1 intentional walk, 10 minutes of stretching, a few strength exercise. You are signaling to your body, we are participating in our own renewal. It doesn't need to be impressive. It needs to be repeatable. Repetition teaches the body that growth is safe. Number 3, reflection. Without reflection, experience doesn't integrate. 2 questions at the end of the day. What worked today? What felt alive? That's enough. No deep excavation, no performance journaling, just pattern awareness. Awareness is what turns experience into wisdom. Attention, movement, reflection. If you commit to these 3, even lightly, you will change. Designing a devotion rhythm. Let's make this practical. Devotion fails when it's vague, so choose 1 specific time, 1 specific place, 1 specific duration. For example, morning, kitchen table, 5 minutes reading. After work, short walk, no phone. Evening, bedside, 2 journal questions. Behavioral science is clear. The more specific you are, the more likely you are to follow through. But here's the stabilizing part. Start smaller than you think you need. If you can't imagine doing it on your lowest energy day, it's too big. Devotion is built on reliability, not ambitions. It's better to show up for 2 minutes daily than to overwhelm yourself once a week. Consistency teaches your system this is safe, this is sustainable. One minute presence check. Before we close, I want to give you something simple you can return to. Not a long practice, just a reset. Wherever you are, pause. Feel your feet on the floor or your body against the chair. Take 1 slow inhale through the nose and a steady exhale. Now ask yourself 3 quiet questions. Where am I right now? What is my energy like? What would steady me? No fixing, no optimizing, just notice. Take 1 more breath This is devotion in its simplest form, returning to yourself on purpose. You can do this in a meeting, in your car, before bed, before you speak. 1 minute of presence protects your rhythm. Daily devotion to growth is not about becoming someone new. It is about becoming someone reliable to yourself. Curiosity awakens the maiden. Rhythm protects her. Structure doesn't restrict joy, it gives it a container. And container create longevity. Take one slow inhale, then a long exhale. Let's seal the space with one gentle hum. Inhale. Feel the steadiness in your chest. In our next episode, we'll explore sacred yes, honoring what's truly aligned. Because once you build rhythm, you begin to hear more clearly what is actually yours to commit. Until then, choose one small rhythm. Keep it small enough to keep. Return to it. That is enough. Bye. Thank you for journeying with me through another episode of AquaSea Healing Frequency Podcast. May today's reflections help you feel more connected to the earth beneath you, the seasons you are in, and the sacred rhythm that lives within your soul. As we learn to live in tune with nature's cycles, we remember that healing isn't linear. It's a spiral, a dance, a deepening. If this episode resonated with your heart, please subscribe, share it with a loved one who might need it, and leave a comment. I truly love hearing how these frequencies land for you. You can connect with me on Instagram and YouTube at AquaSea Healing Frequency, or explore more healing tools and resources through my course on Thinkific. Let the earth be your guide, and may your journey unfold in perfect rhythm. Until next time, may you move with grace, grow with intention, and always come home to your center. With love, Meiji.